Very tough question.
3, 2, 1.
Oh no! I can't answer this.
No, you have to. Pick one, quickly. There's a very big problem in that. What we've seen is, friends and family, they are never happy with your looks. You'll either be overweight or you'll be underweight. You're never at that perfect weight where they say that, okay, this is where you should be.
Yeah.
And if they somehow find that, you are not able to stay there.
Yeah, no.
Right? So that ideal weight
I
never
have never
happens.
found that. So
Exactly. The common norm today is that, okay, I want to lose weight or I want to gain weight. And once I am done with that, I'll take a back seat. I've achieved and I've stopped. Why? Do you think there's some relation to it? Because like in your case also, like you very rightly mentioned that until you reached your preparatory leave for your 10th examinations, you were kind of fairly active, you would move around and everything,
Yes.
and you were always on the skinnier side.
Yes.
But the moment your activity kind of stopped is when these things started revealing itself,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. I feel a lot of it is also like when you put on weight and you meet people after a long time, friends or family, and then they comment that
That's very common.
oh, you have put on weight. So at that point of time when you're constantly hearing that, it can either go two ways. One, you can be like really motivated that oh my god, I put on weight, I have to like lose weight, do something about it, or it can have a very negative effect on you as well. I think lifestyle score has been a game changer actually, because every day when you are answering those questions and you are more conscious about okay, my tomorrow score has to be better than the previous day. So automatically during the day when you are when you're eating your meals or how much water you're drinking, you tend to like
Get a
little more
yeah.
conscious that okay, I have to better my score,
Yeah.
so I have to incorporate my protein in my
Yeah.
meal, or I have to drink more than 10 glasses of water, or I have to walk a certain number of steps. So it's about building that conscious habits, and that has kind of really helped in bettering the life.
Hi everyone and welcome to the second episode of Let's Talk Basics. Today we have with us Nitish. You all know Nitish very well. And our guest is Ishita. I'll tell you a little bit about Ishita. She works in Big Four as a consultant and she's been a member of Back to Basics since November 2023. Her consistency in attending the workout sessions has been remarkable. And I'm very excited to know more about Ishita's journey from herself. So I think we should get started. Over to you, Nitish.
Welcome Ishita, great to have you on the show. How do you feel?
Thanks Nitish, thanks Nikita. I feel excited and nervous at the same time, but it's good to be here and it's good to have this chat with both of you. So.
Excellent. So specifically, how do you feel when you're when you've actually been through such a long journey of your health and fitness, right? It started right from your childhood, and then going through a phase of practicing yoga and then joining Back to Basics and everything, and then finally coming back and talking about that entire journey. How does that make you feel? We are basically going to talk about your entire journey, right? How does that make you feel?
A year ago, if somebody had told me that I'll be on a talk show and what will be the topic, and if I had said like fitness would not even feature in the top 100 topics, but I think that's the big change that Back to Basics has brought in.
Yeah.
So it's been a journey, like you said.
It's been a long journey.
Long journey, like childhood was okay. Like childhood I was very skinny till around 9th standard, but it's only after 10th standard during the board exam leave, when you are there's no activity and just sitting at home and like studying, that's when I started putting on weight.
I think we all go through that phase.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's when it started, and I don't think it's ever come down after that.
Okay.
It's only been upward. So initially it was all about like weight, because that's all you know. Like you don't associate fitness with anything else except what is your weight and how are you looking in a certain way, for your age and everything.
Right.
So that's all I knew for a very long time about what fitness is all about. And it's been a very gradual process of learning, and I would say that I am now fully aware, or I'm still learning about what encompasses fitness, and a big part of that has been back to basics in helping me understand that.
Yeah. Why do you think we've reached a point where we obsess? I mean, we've heard this and we've seen this very often where people get serious about their fitness when they are obsessed about that number.
Correct.
Per se, right?
Yes.
I mean, the common norm today is that okay, I want to lose weight or I want to gain weight, and once I am done with that, I'll take a back seat. I've achieved and I've stopped. Why? I mean, do you think there's some relation to it? Because like in your case also, like you very rightly mentioned that until you reached your preparatory leave for your 10th examinations, you were kind of fairly active,
Yeah.
you move around and everything, and
Yes.
you were always on the skinnier side.
Yes.
But the moment your activity kind of stopped is when these things started revealing itself,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
So, two questions. One, do you think we kind of try to hide the fact that we don't want to move and kind of say that okay, we don't want to look at inactivity as a problem. I feel lethargic, so I don't want to talk about inactivity altogether. And second one is, why is that the society is obsessed with that number per se so much?
So I think it's not that we don't want to move, but I think the way our life progresses, like say after school, you get so busy with your work or college or whatever degree you are preparing for, and it's just a natural progression from like being a playful child to going into like more serious mode, and it's naturally, unless you're very conscious about it, you don't tend to naturally be active. And it's only, like you said, when the first time you actually think about it is when you start seeing the scales move. So that's when you start becoming conscious. And I feel a lot of it is also like when you put on weight and you meet people after a long time, friends or family, and then they comment that
very common.
Oh, you have put on weight. So at that point of time when you're constantly hearing that, it can either go two ways. One, you can be like really motivated that oh my god, I put on weight, I have to like lose weight, do something about it, or it can have a very negative effect on you as well. So it's a very mental thing, and you're on the other side and you feel like okay, I need to like completely shut off or like withdraw from people, and you become a little introverted when you start putting on weight. So it's how you deal with it, and at some part in your life when, like for me personally, during the pandemic, especially when I had put on a lot of weight in the pandemic initially, and it started causing physical health problems. So because of my long hours, I work very long hours and hardly any break in between. So when I used to get up at the end of the day from my desk, I could barely move. Like I had a very bad lower back pain. I used to have sciatica pain. I used to have like joint aches and pains. So all of that got me, thinking that it's high time I need to do something about it. So it's always that one trigger point that leads people into thinking about their fitness. And for me, that was that point where I said that if I don't do anything about it now, it may become like a permanent thing. And
it can worsen.
It can worsen, and it's not that I'm getting any younger. So it's more difficult to recover once you are at a certain age. So I think that is when I decided to get into yoga first, and I think that was my first point of, like, I would say, beginning to look
taking
at
an action.
fitness. And that was more from the perspective of, and so many years of putting on weight, and that negativity of hearing about like how much weight I've put on, I had become kind of averse to any kind of physical activity. So yoga I took because somebody told me that it's not that physical, it's more about stretching and breathing work. So I said, okay, that's a milder form of exercise. So let me start with that. So that's how I started, and honestly it was like the best decision I had taken for myself, and like it really helped me within a couple of months of starting yoga. Like the first day when I started, I couldn't even touch my toes. It was like that bad. So but within a couple of months of starting, it kind of, the pains had completely gone. And because of the breathing work and the meditation that comes along with yoga, like even like anxiety and stress levels, I could manage better.
Right.
So, you know, it had a both physical and mental effect, and that was something I did not expect. So it really kind of pushed me to, you know, do it more seriously. And that's how I started. And back to basics actually was the next step after that. So, yeah.
Excellent.
But I mean, for you, the trigger was like you said, you had pain in your knees and like you started seeing some health issues.
Yeah.
So do you think triggers differ from person to person, or like are these around these things only?
I mean, there are some generic areas around which these triggers happen, or do you think every person might have a different trigger point to get started?
I think every person has their own trigger point and their own journey, and it comes at a different stage of your life. For some people, it may happen very early on in life, and for others, it may, like for me, it happened around like 32, 33, but it may happen at 50 also.
Right.
It just depends.
Yeah,
So I feel like you either tend to get conscious about your health and fitness because of something that has happened to you, or you have seen somebody around you go through something.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
So-
This is something that we have heard.
We've heard
Yeah.
quite often.
Yeah.
Quite often. Especially, I think in the age group that we kind of deal with.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot of people say this. It's either from their own experience, where
Yeah.
they've kind of seen some health parameters go off the chart,
Yeah.
or they've seen some kind of an experience in their
To a
immediate
friend,
family.
To
or
a
friends.
friend, family,
Yeah.
yeah. And nowadays, I think especially after the pandemic, you're hearing of so many cases where, you know, young people, fit people with seemingly nothing wrong, then, you know, something is just out of the blue happening, and it's very scary.
Exactly.
So I think that has also played a big part in nowadays people becoming more conscious about
Exactly.
their fitness.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I think, I mean, now that you've been through a journey, how would you define good health? Because when you talk about health, I still feel, in spite of the fact that we are in 2024, it's still a very subjective term. Every person will have their own point of view when they talk about health, right?
Yes.
So how do you define health as? I mean, how would you define a healthy person as?
So, like I said, like earlier, my definition of healthy person was to be at a certain weight or look in a certain way. But I think till last year, January of last year, there was a point where in a couple of months I had put on a lot of weight, and that really scared me. So I had like visited a doctor, and she said, you know, your hormones are imbalanced, so maybe that's why you are putting on weight. So, you know, you should increase your physical activity. So that was like my actual trigger point for joining back to basics. Apart from the fact that I felt like when I was doing my yoga, I felt like I need to gain more strength to do certain more advanced postures and so that was my trigger point. But yeah, the scary part was the health the weight gain. So at that point that was a trigger, but now after joining the program, it has redefined my definition of what it means to be healthy. I feel like health is lot of things. It's not just weight is only a part of it, but it's more about how strong you are, how independent you will be in the future. You know, if you have to lift your suitcases, or you have to do daily activities like chores around the house, or you have to lift your grocery bags, then are you able to do that, or are you dependent on somebody to do that?
Correct.
So I think that is my definition of health, that you are healthy as long as you are able to lead a healthy lifestyle, do like stuff, your own chores on your own, without thinking about okay, I'm bedridden, or I can't, I have this ache, that ache.
Correct.
And you know, that is one. The other thing is also about what you're putting inside your body, like your nutrition. So that's another thing that I've learned, that health is also about what you eat, when you eat, the time that you are eating, the time that your body takes to recover from any like physical activity, strenuous activity, how much sleep you are getting, what is the quality of sleep.
Correct.
And how much you are hydrating, you know, all of those things. What is your energy level like throughout the day? during different parts of the month. Like earlier, during my menstrual cycles, I used to feel so bloated, and I would have very low energy on the first couple of days. But that is a change now that I have seen. With incorporating more physical activity, strength training, that's even
a very good.
It's a big change, and that is not something that I realized immediately. It was only 2-3 months, into it, and I realized that okay, I'm not feeling, I'm feeling energetic for 30 days of the month.
Right.
So I think all of those things together, it forms part of health.
Okay.
That is, as per now, my
Basically,
view.
the way you feel, the way you are able to move around.
Yes. Yeah.
How efficiently you can do things.
Yeah.
So,
How did you come to know about Back to Basics primarily?
I'm part of the Bangalore Leap group.
Okay.
So Nikita is.
Ishita messaged me.
Yeah.
Then.
Okay, so from there.
Yes.
And now that, how much do you think, of course, like you've been a very avid practitioner of lifestyle score as well.
Yes.
The way we do it. Do you think that has kind of imbibed this thought of, okay, how can sleep actually improve your health?
I
And that
think,
way?
lifestyle score has been a game changer actually, because every day when you are answering those questions and you are more conscious about, okay, my tomorrow score has to be better than the previous day. So automatically during the day, when you are when you're eating your meals or how much water you're drinking, you tend to
Get a little
little more conscious that, okay, I have to better my score,
Yeah.
so I have to incorporate my protein in my
Yeah.
meal, or I have to drink more than 10 glasses of water, or I have to walk a certain number of steps. So it's about building that conscious habits, and that has kind of really helped in bettering the lifestyle.
But does it overwhelm you at any point where are there days when you feel like this
I
is
have
way
to
too
do
much?
this also.
This is way too much for today, or you're okay on the fact that okay, there will be some days when how do you approach that?
So for example, say my steps. Okay, so every week, like in the program, we have a step target. But for me, because of the way my work is, and because of the way I have to, I don't get many steps in the day. And I try to work on it. I try to, it's definitely more than what it was earlier. But of course, I'm not able to do that 9,000, 8,000 steps in a day. But I'm okay with that. It's not like I feel like, oh my God, I have failed, in doing something. But it's okay because I am taking care of the other parameters. So I feel like you don't have to live by a certain rule book.
Right.
You can still, if you want to have a pizza one day, you can have a pizza.
Correct.
Or you want to have a drink on one day, you have a drink. But you make sure that you compensate on other parameters. You are sleeping well, you are hydrating enough, you are getting your movement, you're getting your strength training. So you can still lead a healthy lifestyle with having fun and doing things that you enjoy.
Exactly.
Right.
Like we like to say this, that one day does not make a difference whether it is good or bad.
Yes.
If you're going to just work out for one day, it's not going to do
It's
any
not
good.
good,
If you're just going to binge it on one day, that again is not going to kind of impact.
And we
you that
have
much.
received many questions about this thing in our community also.
Yeah.
People feel guilty that they did not, work out today or get their steps done.
I think that's something as a society we've kind of looked at it that way, that if you have to kind of be healthy, then you need to follow a very disciplined lifestyle, a very strict lifestyle.
7 days workout karna hai, bilkul bhi.
Exactly, right. It's not like you can have an off day. You will feel, it's natural. Humans, while we are meant to move, we don't like moving. It's a very honest opinion. There's nothing to shy about that. But finding that balance is what will help you stay consistent.
Yes.
Okay, so what would you say that any one thing that majorly changed after Back to Basics, or primarily again by you did look at strength training and that is why you joined Back to Basics, but what were your expectations when you joined, and what kind of changed massively after Back to Basics? One thing if you would have to name.
Very impactful change, if you can.
I'll say that I am not averse to physical activity anymore, what I was
Lovely.
before.
Beautiful.
So, even for any reason, if I'm not able to do the class on any day, I'll try to either do the recording or I will cover it up on the weekend in some manner. So which is something which I would have never done before.
Right.
So that is something I feel like which that kind of blockade that I had about physical activity, that has gone, and I feel like you can be physically active and still be fun. It'll still be fun. So that is the biggest difference.
Yeah, because you mentioned that the years of trying different things made you hate exercise.
I mean, even now, like certain forms of exercise, like if you tell me to run a marathon or go on a trek, I would not. I don't. I'm still not there yet.
Right.
But I mean, I'll spend my Saturday like going and playing badminton. That is something that is also physical activity, which is not something which I would have voluntarily opted for earlier, and now I'm okay with that. So.
Excellent.
That's a very good change.
If somebody is not scared of being active, I think that's a very big change. I personally feel, as a society, we've always tried to hide the fact that there is no other solution than being active. I mean, we've always been active. We've found ways to be inactive, and we're trying to safeguard it by giving different excuses, whatever possible. I mean, staying active is not that hard.
And staying active doesn't only mean going to the gym.
Exactly.
Right.
It could mean so many things.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I somewhere read it in a book saying that if you really want to stay active, it's only effort that is needed from you to step out.
Correct.
If you want to walk, you don't even need a pair of shoes.
Yes.
Your normal footwear also can help you in walking, right? So that is the bare minimum effort needed for you to stay active. So basically, you didn't do anything that was rocket science, right? I mean, we didn't as a program also, we didn't make you do any rocket science stuff in the program. We just stuck to the basics repeatedly, add some kind of variation here and there. Just make sure that as many people as possible can try and get consistent from the program.
Correct.
Right.
Show up for the class, as many as you can. You show up 3 days a week? If yes, can you show up 4 days a week? Just repeatedly doing that for 6 to 8 months, what impact has it had on your health?
That has, so physically if you see, like you mentioned, I got my health checkup done recently, and from what I had felt in January of last year when my doctor said that your hormones are imbalanced, and now when I got my report, almost all the parameters were on point. So I was surprised. I did not expect that. Of course, there were some vitamin deficiencies and all of that, which is normal, which almost all of us have.
All Indians have.
Yeah, but otherwise there are no like alarming, cause of concerns. No thyroid, diabetes, cholesterol, iron levels. Everything was beautifully like in the normal parameters. And even my doctor said that you beautifully maintained your hormones, and I mean that was like the highest compliment that anyone could have given me, and even she was also very impressed. She's like, what did you do, like last year you had so many issues, and now. I said, I don't know whether it's strength training or just the program or my yoga or like whatever, everything put together, but I went with God's grace.
Absolutely.
No, I think it's the combination of all your efforts that you started taking, right from getting into yoga, then being conscious about your nutrition, because you said you were talking to a nutritionist also and trying to understand the science behind it.
So that was prior to the pandemic when I had spoken to a nutritionist, and I had done one program with her, and that was the first time I actually understood what foods kind of suit me and they don't suit me. So that was the first time I became aware that nutrition plays a huge part in it's not only just about going to the gym. So that also mattered, and of course now while I'm no longer doing that program, but at least I know I'm very conscious about what I eat, and I don't try to I don't overindulge in anything that I feel like would not be good for me. So
I think that's the highest compliment ever.
I think absolutely. I think I'm very. It's so refreshing to hear how your perspective of health, or say what you really long for
Yes.
changes when you actually understand
Yeah.
how health can be perceived. Right?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, the moment you stop looking at that one number
Correct.
and
Yeah.
looking at the bigger picture where you don't have any chronic pain,
Yes.
your energy levels are better, you sleep better, and it gives you a feeling which is not explainable.
Yes.
You can't explain it
You
that
can't, huh.
how this is a better feeling than I was
Yeah,
earlier.
so even now, I am probably at the highest weight I have ever been in my
Okay.
life. But I feel like physically I am at my best
Yeah.
right now.
Exactly.
So
Right.
it's not something that many people understand.
Yes.
And people always only look at you and judge you with the weight
Different
that you
Yeah,
have.
yeah,
yeah.
But it's not that. It's much more than
And
that.
I mean, there's a very big problem in that. What we've seen is, I mean, friends and family, they are never happy with your looks. You'll either be overweight or you'll be underweight. You're never at that perfect weight where they say that, okay, this is where you should be.
Yeah.
And if they somehow find that, you are not able to stay there.
Yeah, no.
Right? So that ideal weight
I
never
have not
happens.
found that. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so based on that, what advice would you give your own 20-year-old self? And I'm looking at it from a point of view where every member whom we've spoken to or whom we've kind of helped transform their health overall came from a background where they've done some extreme things in terms
yeah.
of diet, maybe
Diets.
programs, maybe tried a GM diet, tried a keto
Yeah.
diet, nothing worked, and they eventually came for a more sustainable approach, what I
Yeah.
can follow on a daily basis that doesn't need a lot of effort
Yes.
and everything. And once they realize that, their perspective has changed. So now, if you had to give an advice to a 20-year-old self, what would that be?
I would say stop listening to the noise and
the
start
best.
listening to your own
I like
body.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was
That's
a
the
good one.
best. I
That was a
think
good
you
one,
don't
yeah.
need to say anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And fair enough, I mean, there's so much information overload out there.
Yeah.
You just go and check out how can I improve my sleep, you'll find 100 different answers
Different
to
answers.
it. But the problem is the answers that are visible are the most read answers are shown up the top. The most correct answer is not shown
No,
up at
correct,
the top. So
yeah.
that's the problem.
And for everybody it's different.
exactly.
What works for one person may not work for another person. So it's about understanding your own body and
Yeah,
understanding
yeah.
what works for you.
Exactly. I think that's one of the primary reasons why we take so much effort in the community to repeatedly educate on the same things again and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as possible, because every 6 months when a new lot of people come in, they have the same kind of questions. It feels like, okay, how much more of myth busting is needed to actually bring about a change? I mean, 10 years back we were answering the same questions. 10 years later we are still at the same point,
answering the
answering the same
Yeah.
questions.
But that's what your philosophy is, right?
Yeah.
Back to basics.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So
that is something you
that
need to
kind of
keep
helps.
harping on.
Yeah, absolutely. I think yes, that was an amazing conversation. We are going to end it up with a quick rapid fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
you're
so
going to
I'm-
have a nice rapid fire. Nikita is going to kind of check your
Cool.
quickness
Are you
in
ready?
answering.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. First one: yoga or strength training?
Oh my god.
You have to pick one. I know you don't want to, but you have to pick one. Given a choice right now, you have to do either yoga or strength training. What
I
do you
will pick yoga because it has effect on both my mental and physical
Great.
Yeah.
well-being. So
Yeah.
yoga.
Okay. Morning workout or evening workout?
Morning yoga, evening workout.
Wow.
Strength or stamina?
Very tough question.
3, 2, 1, go.
Stamina.
Stamina. Okay.
Okay. Why not strength?
I feel like stamina helps you in the long run.
Okay.
I mean, so does strength. That's
Yeah.
No, it's a personal preference.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
But I feel like the more stamina you have, the more you can build on strength. So
Okay.
okay, fair enough.
that,
Okay. Punjabi food or South Indian food?
oh no, I can't answer this.
No, you have to. Pick one, quickly. Anyone.
Uh,
She hails from a Punjabi family, that's
I
all.
am a Punjabi married to a South Indian, so
We'll
No,
cut this part. We'll just know for us. Because we thought a lot for us for this question, so we want an answer.
No, you can't be rapid answer. I am 50-50. I can't answer this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
we'll-
Weekend party or weekend trek?
Party, no treks. I
Okay.
hate
Coffee or tea?
coffee.
Silent meditation or guided meditation?
Guided.
Okay.
Upper body or lower body workout?
Upper body.
Okay. Squats or deadlifts?
Squats.
Squats. Okay. Last one, B2B online or B2B
You
offline?
tried both.
Online.
Oh.
Online
Ah,
because
lovely.
for me that's a big part in being consistent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of my schedule, I think online was one of the reasons I joined Back to Basics was because it was online. So I don't have to like physically get out anywhere. I can at the drop of
Quickly
a-
get it
quickly
done.
just get
Yeah.
it done, and then go back to my work if required. So definitely online.
Oh, nice. Lovely to hear that. Okay.
Yeah.
On that
Okay.
note, I'll give you your winner's hamper.
It's a small token of thank you and
Thank you so much for coming. for
Thank
us
you
We
for
are
having
just
me.
going to-
And it was a pleasure to be here. So
to you.
So these are some of the brands who have sponsored this hamper
So we've
for
got
our
Angadi of
members.
Spices, colorfully healthy, indie treats, and
I
chia
hope
leaf.
you like it.
Thank you guys
really
for
exciting.
having
Thank you so much.
enabled us. Let's have a quick picture. All right, it
Thank
was
you
lovely
so
having
much.
you.
It
Thank
was
you.
lovely being here and a great conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Right?